I know, I'd be like, wait, what?
What in the hell?
Oh, it's folded up. What kind of flaky ass shit's falling apart in this
what
damn
the motherfucker now?
Welcome back to CnR Reviews, CnR Reviews.com. I'm E-Rock.
Coltrane.
Hell yeah, he's back. The last video he wasn't here, he was at work, so
yeah.
I decided to do the video by myself. But
it has to. Could have waited.
I didn't want to wait to open that speaker, bro. It's good. Today we're going to do an unboxing of a couple boxes here, and we run another YouTube channel. Smooth. We run another YouTube channel for our airsoft team that these guys run. So it's Trifecta Airsoft. If you want to check it out, you can go to trifectaairsoft.com or just search Trifecta Airsoft on that. Anyway, so what happened was we've got an event coming up. I'm going to start opening this while we're talking, or I guess while I'm talking. And they've got an event coming up for airsoft this weekend. It's pretty big. It's a time period event or era for Vietnam, and it's kind of like a reenactment. So it's a mil sim, so there's a lot of strict rules, but we wanted to get all this gear before and set up or whatever before they hit the field, because they're going to be out all weekend. And so we went with
Sunday.
Yeah, Friday to Sunday. So we needed extra cameras, all right, and yeah, dude, a bunch of them. So you can see in the box there.
The box you can barely move.
They're heavy.
They're heavy, man.
I got, so we ordered 4 of these. Now we already have 4 other ones, but they're kind of mix and match. We have 2 of these, and then we have an older version of this, and then we have a GoPro Hero 3. These are a lot cheaper, which is why I went with them. But we've used these in the past, and they've been fine.
Yes, they're actually really clear.
So I ordered a couple. I think these are the cases. Yeah, they are.
These are waterproof up to 100 feet?
Yeah, well, the case, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
What are those?
These are extra cases. Remember the? So we
right.
So we ordered the cameras to go on the. We want them to have the cameras on the guns and on their helmet. So we want a helmet cam and a barrel, mounted camera facing back at them. So we get the 2 views there while they're shooting or on the field. So that's what that is. If you want to open that up, that's actually head straps or head mounts. Because they won't be able to use the modern day helmets that they have, the tactical helmets, for this event. Because it has to be, you can't use anything that's not for that time period. So your camis can't be digital, newer digital camis. And so anyway, so we got some head straps.
Head strap, camera mount. Head strap, camera mount. And another head strap, camera mount. So we got 3 of them.
3, okay. There's 4 of these guys on the team that are going to be geared up with cameras. We already have one of these that came with one of our gear sets a couple years ago that I bought for some of the cameras. So I needed 3 extra, and then we needed these, and then I have, and of course all these come with batteries. Let's go ahead and open
each of them.
These. Let's do the camera first.
Aye.
So we're going to do one of these cameras. Okay, they're all the same. All the same model, all the same brand. So all we need to do is just one. So if you want to open that one up, and we'll go through how to set it up, how to turn on, how to use the stuff that comes with it. We had to get a couple extra of these in case I didn't mention it. A few weeks ago they were at an event, airsoft. They were doing indoor. The lens cover got shot with a BB and cracked,
shattered.
So
you got some more mounts. Swivel mounts.
Man, look. A lot of different types of mounts that come with it.
Comes with a battery charger that you can put 2 batteries in.
Right.
Every camera of this brand is shipped with 2 batteries.
2 bats. And I did a test on those exact, this camera and that brand of battery. They lasted an hour, I think it was an hour and 40 minutes each. and for one charge from full to 0. All right, so we got most everything laid out here. Well, everything laid out actually, and we'll go over each thing real quick. So a lot of these things are obviously versatile. Obviously, we know what this does. Okay, that's your lens wipe cloth, and then all these different accessories you can mix and match how you need it for whatever. And I've been using these type of cameras for 5 years ago at least. Okay, using them for all different things. We put them on. Put it on a helmet. We put it on. I actually set it up in front of a target. So the way this is boxed in here or in the case. So the top piece unclips like that, and that back right there hooks on this little lip on the back, and then your back flips open, and of course it's got a weather strip seal around it to keep it waterproof. And then the case itself is everything else is totally sealed and waterproofed. Okay, your little buttons, everything has rubber seals in it. A rubber seal in there as well. That's sealed. This thing up here, I will tell you this. One of the things that's always happened to ours is this little clip. Oh, check out what they did, bro. They fixed it.
Oh, they secured it. About damn time.
Oh my God, they fixed it. Okay, I'm gonna have to get the other case and show you guys.
About time.
All right, so I'm
gonna
gonna
check those ones too, because they might not be that.
Yeah, these cases.
Yeah,
they
might not be like that.
That's true. So if you can see this little screw and plate right there that's securing this wire wrap here. Like when you go to pop this thing off, when you open it and close it, when you pop it off like that, that thing always pops out of that little groove. Okay, it was such a pain in the ass, and oh my God, I'm so glad to see that.
They probably got
good
some complaints.
Fucking job, Akaso. Okay, all right. So this one, this has a little clip at the top. That's your top area here. You slide it in there. All right, and then this one actually has 2 mounts here for threaded areas for the tripods, and then also has a clip section for this clip, so you could slide this in, and now you have a clip that you could clip onto, you know, a tree branch or your refrigerator handle, or
that's way too small to be clipping onto a fridge handle. You crazy as hell.
I'm just saying, you know, you can clip it on whatever.
Your
know?
pinky.
Clip it on your pinky. Clip it on your nose ring.
Oh, God.
Okay. So that's a nice little clip there.
On your eyelash.
So that's real versatile. If you don't need a full case or full cover for like weatherproof or whatever, you can use that for multi-purpose. It slides in and out real easy. And then everything else is just extra accessories that like you can put wherever you need to. Okay, so like this one here has a adhesive back. If you take this off, that's adhesive there. You could stick this pad on something, all right, and then it'll stay wherever you want. You stick it on the wall or whatever. Or so all these accessories are interchangeable. All these are interchangeable, and you can see the setup here. So what you have here is so you have 2 opening or 2 mounts there. You have 2 mounts here. That's not going to work. Okay, it's like a puzzle piece. So if you have 2 on here, you got to have 3, just like that. And then you take this rod out, slide it in there, and then this will mount on something else like this. Okay, it has 3 openings, and that way you can mount it sideways on something. Okay, just like that. A lot of versatility with these. This one is a side mount as well. You see these 2 here. One's shorter, one's longer. Okay, this is a round. This will mount on your tripods. Okay, that is a standard type of thread for tripods. And then you got your straps here, you know, buckle straps. And then this is like a barrel mount or something to mount on your bicycle handle. Yep. So like a lot of the guys that run mountain bikes, they'll have one mounted on their handlebars facing down towards their tire so that you can see the, you know, the ground in front of them. Gives a really cool effect. And you got a couple of Velcro straps here. They're real thin. It just adds, I mean, you have a lot of versatility with how to hook these up in different situations for whatever you need. And we're going to turn this thing on and show you how this thing works here. You have a cover on the front that you're always going to have. I'm going to leave that on for now on your lens, and that because I'm handling the shit out of this thing, so I don't want to get it all smeared up. And then you have a cover on the back, and it tells you how to get started. Basically, to put a memory card in here, which we'll do here in a minute, and then your battery and shit, which goes in the bottom. So let's put a battery in here, or receivers basically in there. And then you have 3 prongs inside. Now this little thing goes at the top. That's your little handle to pull it out. If you put it in the wrong way, it doesn't go in all the way. You can feel it's loose and it doesn't fit right, okay? So you put it in. If you do that, then you put it in until it kind of sinks down a little bit, and it's a little depressed down in there, okay? And then you put your cap back on. And the cap goes on where that little notch is right there. That's where this little slot, that's the end of the little slot goes. And it's dummy proof as well. If you try to put it on backwards, it won't go, okay? If you just snap it on. If you try to put this on the other way, it doesn't fit, okay? So it goes like this. You put the one end in first, you just snap that down. I can go over the menu here in a minute. Once we hook it up on the PC, I'll show you how to plug it in and transfer your files or charge it up. All right, guys, so I'm going to show you real quick how to set this thing up. So we got, like I said, you got your mode button here. That's your power button, and that changes your mode. So what I did was I put a memory card in here, okay? So it takes a micro SD card, all right? Just like this. Now this is a 2 gig that I have in here, but you can put whatever in here. They make 400 gigs now. So like in most of our cameras that we use, we put 128 gig or 200 gigs. So for those long videos, and then it's kind of dummy proof. You can't, the way these are shaped, if you've never done these before, you see this little notch at the top here. If you try to put it in backwards, it won't fit. So it's like a puzzle piece. Like, it should go in real easy, and that doesn't, okay? So if it does that, then just switch it around. So these type of cameras, with this brand and this model, the contact for your memory card here needs to be facing the front of the camera to go in, okay? If you turn it backwards, it's not going to go in. But you can see it goes in real easy, okay? And then it's got a springy feel to it, and what you do is that's how it locks in. So you just, you can hear it click, right? You feel it too, and it just stays in there, all right? And those are your 2 connectors. One is a mini USB, and I'll show you how that works. Let's look at this battery and charger real quick. So your battery and your charger, like I said earlier, that's one of the batteries that came with it. The other one, it comes with 2. The other one's in the camera still. All right, and you can see it only goes in one way. I mean, you can't mess it up. If you try to put it in wrong, see, it ain't gonna go in, okay? You just line those contacts up with those tabs in there, and you can see the blue light turn red because it's in charging mode, okay? When it's done charging, it'll turn blue. All right, so that works out good. And then let me show you how to hook up the camera here. So I got my PC on, and just line it up like you would any other charging thing. It goes in one way, and now
remember the camera's off. I don't have it on, okay? See, it's totally off. All right. So when I plug it in, it's going to turn itself on and it's going to automatically connect. See that? Connecting. Okay. And then it comes up on the on my screen over here as that right there. So it shows the memory card, the files that it creates on the memory cards or the folders rather, to put your videos and pictures in, okay, once you connect it. So if you want to transfer that and you didn't have a card reader, then you could just plug it in this way and it comes up right on your computer, and then you can access them in here. There's nothing in here because I didn't take any video yet, okay, but I'm going to show you what happens when you do, what it'll show like. So I'm going to unplug this. And when you unplug it, it automatically shuts itself off. Okay? It's kind of nice. Alright? So let's turn this on real quick. I'm going to hold this front button. Okay? It makes a little noise and then it comes on. And it's already set. You can see the symbol right there for a video camera. Okay? And I'm going to press the record button. Now up here, that number there, so this shows 0 time recorded. Okay, see the zeros, and then this one here is how much record time based on your settings you can get out of the video card that's on there. Okay, and if you look at the left right here side of your screen right there, all right, you can see right there 1080p, and then there's a 30 under it. That means 30 frames per second. Okay, so that's what the settings on, and based on those settings I could get okay, so the screen goes off. It just went off. You just hit a button and it'll come back on. It does that to save the battery life, okay? And of course your battery life's down there. So what it means up here is on these settings for 1080p at 30 frames a second, I can get 14 minutes and 11 seconds of video time on this memory card. That's for a 2 gig memory card. All right, so if I put a 128 gig in there, it's going to go up, by a lot. So, so let me take a short video. You just hit the top button, makes a noise, and then that camera symbol, the video camera symbol at the top, turns red. Okay, which you can see there. And now you have the bottom that turns yellow that has the date stamp and the time. Okay, which I haven't set yet, and it's wrong. So that's video. All right, and you just press stop, and or press the top button, the record button again, and it stops recording. See, the symbol went back to white. You're good to go. And then we're going to plug this thing back in with the USB, mini USB here, and I'll show you how it comes up on your PC. All right, so it does the same thing. It automatically connects, and so see, now we've got a file in here. All right, if I double click on it, it's a movie file, it's not a JPEG. And then that camera symbol, the video camera symbol at the top, turns red. Okay, if you can see that. There you go. All right, so that's the quality it shows right now. That's at 1080 at 30 frames a second. And now you have the. Okay, so that's your video file and how it comes up on in your folder there. Now, if I had taken a photo in photo mode, then it would be they would have put it in that folder instead of the video folder. Okay, and then I can just select that, hit the delete button. I want to delete it. Okay, now my memory card's clear again. Hold your mode button in the front for about 2 seconds. Then your screen will turn on. Okay, now to get to the menu, I need to hit the mode button in front here. I just click it until I can cycle through the different modes till I get to the menu system. Okay, so that's the camera. That's the file system if I had videos or pictures on this memory card. And then this should be the, oh, that's another camera mode right there. All right, now that symbol is for the settings. All right, so it's going to stay there until I select something. So the way you select something is the record button at the top. That's the OK button. So I hit that, okay, and it'll go into the settings. Now your buttons on the right side over here, those are navigation buttons for different things. And for the menu, it's your up and down arrows. All right, so it's got the resolution. So let's say I want to change the resolution. Click the top button for the OK, and then I can change it to 60 frames a second, which is what I'm going to change it to. Oh, it won't let me because of my memory card. Okay, so I have to put a bigger memory card in there to change it to 60 frames a second. So remember that if you're trying to change it to from 30 to 60 frames a second, you have to have a bigger memory card than 2 gigs. Okay, so what's going to happen is it won't let me change it to the top one. In fact, you can see it's a little bit grayed out. In fact, this records in 4K, okay, at 25 frames a second. But it's grayed out because my memory card's not big enough. So let me get a different memory card and I'll show you how it works there. All right, so this is a 64 gig. So let's take this out. And you don't have to turn this off or anything. You just pop your memory card in and out at any time you want. It won't hurt anything, okay? And I'll put the 64 gig in here. Let's see what that does for me. I have a 128 as well, but we'll see what happens. Now, it shut it off when I took that out. So let's turn this back on. And then I'm going to cycle through. Now you can see already the difference. So it's still set on 1080p at 30 frames a second. And I've got 4 hours and 6 minutes and 38 seconds with 64 gigs instead of 2 gigs. Okay, so that's a big jump in that. So let's cycle through to the menu. Okay, hit the top button to say okay. All right, let's go to video resolution. Now see, all these are highlighted now, so I can change to 4K if I want, but I'm going to put it on 1080 at 60 frames a second. So what that does is your frames per second, it's for faster action. So if you're running, it'll help so your video is not blurred at all. And also if you do editing, if you want to do some slow motion, then you definitely want it on 60 frames a second. Okay, so that when you do the slow motion, when you slow it down on the editing, it won't be too blurry. If you do it on 30 frames, it'll be blurry basically. Okay, so so that's the resolution. Now if you want to back out of this to go to a different menu set, just hit the mode button. Okay, it's kind of like your back button. There you go. And then we won't go through all these settings. You can look these up on their website on what these do. Looping video, timestamp. Okay, now the timestamp you can turn on or off. Okay, exposure, photo resolution. There's a lot of in-depth settings here you can change. Burst photos, time lapse. Okay, that's a real popular one to use for like outdoor stuff. All right, let's go to date and time. There's, like I said, you can check out all those different settings. I'm not going to go through all those right now. Play around with them, see what works for you, and look up, which ones. I leave everything on default on whatever it's set on. Like this power frequency, I don't change ever. The continuous lapse, I don't ever change that. I don't do time lapse. I have tried it before, but I don't usually run our cameras that way. So I don't do photo resolution because I don't take pictures with this. So I don't do any of those settings. I don't mess with any of those. I don't change the language. Sound indicator, you can turn that off. That'll just get rid of this beep whenever you press a button or when you press the record button. All right, so let's change the date and time. So now it's a little difficult to see on here because of the glare a little bit, but what's selected right now is it's kind of yellow. Yeah, you can see that. So it's yellowed out. So the 2019, that's good. So I don't want to change that. So I just hit the top button for OK, and then it'll go to the next number for me, and that's the month, the way I have it set up. So I'm going to go to month 6, hit OK. Then today is the 5th, so I'll just use the down arrow. And that's what I'm doing. I'm using the down arrow or up arrow to change the numbers. So today's 6/5, and it goes over to the time there. Okay, 1700 is 5 o'clock. If you're not familiar with military time, so I'm going to change. It's 1:40 right now, so 13:40. So I'm going to change it to 13:40. Oops, right there. Hit OK. and then hit the up button, just right there. Okay, and then hit OK again, which is the top button. All right, now it went down to the, you can see the bottom part is highlighted. Now that's my date and time setup or mode. So how do you want it to read? Now right now it's reading year, month, day. Okay, I can change that by clicking the up or down arrow. Okay, so I'm going to click the down arrow. So now I've got day, month, year. Okay, I do it again for month, day, year. And here in America, most of our date and times are set up by month, day, year. I don't know why. I wish that was day, month, year, but whatever. Anyway, and then the time over there on the right. Okay, so then I click OK, and now I'm good to go. And now it goes up to the number again, but I just hit the mode button again, and now I'm back out. Okay, so I can turn this sound off. Click OK. Shutter sound you can turn off. All I did was I clicked the top button and it switched it for me. Okay, so I'm going to turn it off. Startup, I'm going to turn that off as well. I don't like any beeps or sounds on this thing. Okay, I turn all the sounds off, especially because these guys are going to be, a lot of these cameras are going to be used on the airsoft field in a military simulation type of setup. So you don't want, if you're going on maneuvers, you don't want your camera beeping at you and giving away your location. All right, so I turn all that stuff off. The volume doesn't matter because I turn everything off. So now the volume actually pertains to the feedback volume from when you're watching your playback of your video, which you could watch on this screen here. Okay, so that's what that means. But I've got all those turned off. So now I can hit mode again and go back. Okay, and then you can also record upside down. So if you had to put this in a spot where the only way you were able to set it up with the cases you have, where it had to be upside down, then you would just click this and you would say yes, that it's upside down, and what it'll do is record right side up for you. Okay, I'm not going to switch that on because I won't have to use it upside down. But it's a nice feature to use if you want your video, especially if you're going to live stream, and the only way you can hook your camera up is by with the cases and hookups you have, is where it has to be upside down for some reason. Then it'll still record right side up for you. So, all right, screensaver, I don't care about that. Power save, you can mess with this stuff if you want. Now the 3 minutes, that's the power save is basically the screen shut off time. So when that screen shuts off, that's what when it goes black, that's what it's talking about. So I could turn this off completely, but I'm going to put it on 1 minute because when these guys go out in the field with this thing, you don't want this screen lit up really for anything. Okay, so I'll have it shut off as fast as possible. And then format, if you're not familiar with formatting, that formats your memory card that's in there. Okay, that option wouldn't be available unless I had a memory card in there, and all it does is clear your card for you. It wipes everything off your card, so it erases everything. So don't use that unless you know what you're doing. And then you can reset all your settings from there, and then it tells you the version and all that stuff. So you can go up to there and click OK, and it takes you out of the menu and goes back to your video camera. And you're good to go. All right, so if you want to access your files that you have on the card while they're in your camera and you want to check them out, okay, so you just hit the up arrow right there, hit it once, and it will take you to this screen right here. So I have a short video on there. I want to check it out, so I hit the top button for the OK to select that. Okay, and that's my file right there. And then you can play it by hitting the top button again. Okay, and you hear the volume, or you can hear the audio on it, and you can see at the bottom there it has the controls that you can cycle through with your arrow buttons to pause, reverse, fast forward, whatever. And then if you want to back out of it, you just hit the front mode button like we've been doing, Okay, and then back out, and then back all the way out. And then that's your photos if you had any. Hit the up arrow again, and it'll go back to your camera. All right, so the Wi-Fi on is for, I'm going to turn back off, but it'll connect to your Wi-Fi if you want to use and there's an app for your phone you can use to hook up to this thing so that you can see what you're recording through your phone, and you can control it on and off and that kind of thing. All right, so that's another feature that you can check out as well. So we got the new case we just pulled out of the box. The case, the threaded rod to secure it, and then of course a mount. Way better than this. All right, so here's the difference between these new cases that I just ordered separately and the one that comes with it. It's actually a little bit longer, which I really like because these are hard to get to under the camera. It's longer than this one, so you can really get your fingers on it. That's cool. On it. The front looks a little more rugged. This protective case on the front looks more rugged than the other one that comes with them. Camera goes in, of course, you know, the only way it can. You kind of have to wiggle a little bit to get that lens seated down in the lens cover, but it fits perfect. And we'll seal it up. Seal the deal. Now it's locked. It's ready to go. Now these are the head straps. We'll show you how this thing works. You can't really put this in upside down. It won't fit. Okay, the lens only goes one spot right there. It's real easy to put that in there. Then push that closed, snap it. This is set up just for that. It slides right in there. And then that tightens on. Once you line up, you just have to line up the holes there to get it to get the threaded rod through there. There you go. Now this has two different adjusting straps. One at the top for the top of your head. When you pull it like this, it gets tighter. All right, so if you don't have a real big head, or a tall head, I should say, I guess, then you can put that tight, and then this loosens just like that, just like any other buckle, you know, type of strap you've used before on things. Now and when you pull these through, they're a little difficult, and that's good because you don't want them coming loose. But they all have this rubber or silicone type of stuff on the inside that's secured to it. Yeah, man, it's real grippy. It's perfect. Okay, so it's going to grip your forehead.
Or your hats or your
Or your hat, yep. You put it over a hat or whatever. It also has a pad on the back part that's where the buckles come together, you know, on this real thick, heavy-duty plastic piece here. All right, and these are sewn on, okay, so they won't come out. And these things, we've used them before on the field, and never had a problem with them breaking or falling apart. Okay, these are pretty well made. And then the front part that the camera goes on is really thick. In fact, it's thicker than the back part because that's where the camera mounts. Okay, down in there. So this is really thick and heavy duty. It's been through a lot on our old ones. Yeah, and they're good. They don't. We haven't had one break yet. So definitely worth getting those if you needed one for on the field use, or even like I've seen people use them for how-to videos, like if they're working on something and they want to, you know, get that kind of point of view type of thing. And then you have an adjusting strap or adjustment buckle on the side over here, just one for the diameter of your head. Okay, so if you got a big old watermelon head like Coltrane, then this thing's gonna have to be like almost all the way open. Okay, all right, so Colton's gonna show us here what how it fits on the head there.
And you can loosen your thing and point it towards your face if you want.
You get like a nose cam or something.
Yeah.
It points at your nose. So the strap's on pretty good.
Yep.
Now shake your head. That's pretty secure, man. Well, I think that's it, guys. Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you next time.
See you.